John Jones, via stoppage, third round. This is undoubtedly the biggest fight of Daniel Cormier's career. Daniel Cormier has beat Alexander Gustafsson. He's beat Anthony Rumble Johnson twice.
Yes.
Anthony Rumble is a scary, scary man. John Jones beat Daniel Cormier at his own game. John Jones has a much more effective reach. He's a much more athletic guy. John has two brothers in the NFL. And let's just say that John has not exactly dedicated his life to the sport the way that other guys have.
No.
Some people are just made better. John Jones is made better. I would venture to say that he's found a little bit of humility. I think that he's starting to embrace his role as the bad guy. And I think that this year away, when you're that young, kind of like Mike Tyson, when he earned the heavyweight strap of the world, you might not realize what you have till it's gone. His belt was taken away from him. I think he successfully defended it like 10 times or something like that. He broke Tito Ortiz's record. I think that John's going to come out and not only try to beat Daniel, but I think he's going to try to embarrass Daniel. I think we're going to see a motivated John Jones. I think we're going to see a John Jones that is physically prepared. And John's closing in on 30. He might be 30 already, if I'm not mistaken.
I think his birthday's actually July.
I think that John Jones is going to make an example of Daniel Cormier, and just like a lion, I think that he might even try to play with his food.
Who?
Oh, no, 10 times with Demetrius Johnson. John, I think, defended at 8 or 9. He beat Rampage, he beat Shogun, he beat Chael.
Marcio Rua, Rampage.
And he went through Murderer's Row. He beat Rampage, Shogun, Rashad, Lyoto, and Glover, and Gustafsson when these guys were all at the top of their game. He has, except for Chael and Vitor, who were really 185-pounders, John Jones has beaten the legitimate contender every single time, and he's done so handedly, except with the exception of Alexander Gustafsson. I think that what I was saying before is I think that John has actually begun to embrace his role as the bad guy. Not everyone gets to be a good guy. That's just the case in point. You know, Ronda Rousey went heel. Chael Sonnen went full heel. John Jones has gotten to that point where I think he likes stirring the pot a little bit, and I think that he enjoys the haters a little bit. Very much like Richard Sherman and Marshawn Lynch. I think there are certain people that are motivated by people telling them what they can't do. And if John Jones shows up motivated, there is nobody on the UFC roster, including the heavyweight division, that can beat him.
So what's your prediction, Ray?
A motivated John Jones.
Take it from
I
the top,
wouldn't be surprised if John Jones winds up choking out Daniel Cormier.
You think so? I go right with you on that, dude.
John Jones has that amazing single arm guillotine. If Daniel tries to run that single leg like he does better than most people in the UFC, and John Jones can wind up catching him in transition, I think that John Jones is going to make short work, and I think that every time Daniel tries to close the distance, John Jones is going to make him pay a price. With oblique kicks, with lead elbows to the face. I think that he is coming in here with something to prove. And for John Jones' sake, I hope that he does.
His coach is saying he's been like finding new ways to hit people with elbows. He's been doing nothing but deadlifts and jiu-jitsu. He had a fight with Dan Henderson. We may actually see a John Jones who has kind of been in exile for 2.5 years. Would you agree? But he's been doing nothing but training the whole goddamn time. Can you imagine?
I think that he might have found a little bit of humility in there. You know, he was the undisputed greatest light heavyweight champ of the world, arguably the greatest fighter that the UFC had ever seen. And the only person that was able to take John Jones down from the throne was John Jones himself. The only thing America likes more than an underdog is a comeback story. And if John Jones can manage to, Daniel Cormier said, "Get your shit together, John." If John can manage to get his shit together and become the type of man that, I think that most of us would like to be, along with his skill set, I think that he can effectively regain his seat atop the 205-pound weight class. And we're going to stop having that conversation over who's the best pound-for-pound fighter in the UFC. Because it's not Joanna and it's not Demetrius. It is John. John Jones has gone through everybody the UFC has put in front of him, and they have put Hall of Famer after Hall of Famer in his way. I love Demetrius Johnson, but he's beaten a lot of guys. He beat Joe Benavidez a couple of times. It's just not the talent pool at 125 pounds is not what it was at 205.
Jones, TKO. at some point. Hey, everybody,
John
Jenny's
Jones
home.
detail.
Hey.
That's about it, my friend. That's what we got. I'm sure that me and Jerry are going to do something on Floyd and Connor in the near future.
Yes, we are.
Did you turn it off?
So
Yeah,
I'm going to go on my way, Jerry. To the fight fans, we love you. Jenny, I love you. Rob, Brad, Gojira, Nick A.
Love you too.
Sussman Enterprises, and all the guys at the jungle. Take it easy. Weird shit happens when you party naked. Ray and Jay and the MMA guys, we're out.
Later.